Alex, thank you from me. Now, this is your opportunity for comments and questions, but all I would ask is if you could keep them relatively brief because we want to hear more from him. Important though you are, I am reliably informed, and there is a wonderful Mary with a microphone in her hand. So there's a gentleman there. If you could just say who you are, just because we're curious.
Yeah, my name is Bashir Goth, and I represent Somaliland here. I know Ambassador is very well engaged with Somaliland. That's why I'm going to ask you this question. I would appreciate if you reflect on Somaliland in terms of its contribution to peace and stability in the region, in combating terrorism and piracy, and its political situation in a changing Horn of Africa. Thank you.
Somaliland is in a very interesting historical position. This is in a region unique in Africa, which has already seen 2 secessions legitimized, if I may put it that way. And you representing Somaliland would probably want to be the 3rd that is legitimized. The reality at the moment is that I'm not going to get into whether you'll get recognized or not. That is for your neighbors, your own people, your neighbors, Somalia itself, the African Union and others. But there's absolutely no doubt that so long as Somaliland can continue to show that it is keeping stability, and it would help if Somaliland, which showed that it could maintain some stable politics, rotation of electoral processes and the like, would actually stick to that, because right now you sort of have run a bit into the sand on that. I think only time will tell. What I would suggest is that Somalilanders, your deeper aspirations notwithstanding, should be watching very carefully what is happening more widely in the region. Is there a wider context within which Somaliland can fit its aspirations in such a way that it doesn't become too narrow and particular, but fits into a wider regional set of arrangements? Because that's where the future really lies, not just vis-à-vis Somalia, but all the neighbors of Somaliland. We need to get very imaginative and think out of the box.
Mary, stay there, because you can use mine.
Thank you. Marta, Vibretic, Wilson Center. Question about Brexit. If it happens, when it happens, will it have any influence towards the policy of the Horn of Africa and the European Union's policies? I don't know if this is true, maybe it's wishful thinking of some parties, or perhaps it's concern of other parties that Britain might recognize Somaliland.
Brexit is going to have a very significant effect. I mean, I speak as someone who thinks it damages both the UK and it damages Europe. That's my own view. In Africa, it's going to have, the Horn of Africa is an area where within the European Union, the United Kingdom played a very, very important role in keeping people focused on it. And by championing a region, when the champion leaves and steps out, there is a very, very interesting issue that emerges for the European Union, but also for the countries of the region. Because what they're asking themselves is, what do we bet on now? Is it the UK alone that can deliver, or is it this behemoth called the EU? And if it is the behemoth called the EU, who in the EU? You know, these are the debates that go on. So it's impossible to answer directly the question. It'll sort of unpack itself in time. There's no doubt, though, there will be cooperation that goes on. There's life after Brexit with the UK. Reality will actually dictate that on both sides. It'll be triangular. It'll be the EU, the UK, and the region. And out of that, slowly, in that cuisine, things will emerge.